Hey, friends, let's talk about something that can really change your life. I'm talking about personal growth plan. A personal growth plan, a plan that you create personally for yourself that can help you grow in your areas of your skills, leadership, professional life, and personal life. And I know that this is something that we don't really talk about much, but the reason I decided to talk about this is because personal growth has changed my life. And I do believe that it can do the same for you as well. Okay. But before we do that, let's define what is personal growth plan. It's a plan that you customize and create for yourself to help you grow, develop your skills. And the only way you can have that in your life is when you make the decision to grow. It needs to start with the decision, you know? And I remember in the beginning, as soon as I began to learn about personal growth plan, I became more aware of my areas that I needed to improve. Okay, because I do believe all of us we have that in us, and we just have to find it. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to just go through life without thinking about growing or developing ourselves. But if you do that, you get to the point where you just become stuck. And I do believe that you don't want to be stuck. You want to be able to grow yourself so you can develop and become the best version of yourself. And when you do, you'll be in much better position to be able to help people do the same thing. Okay. And that's my goal for you. But this 6 steps has really helped me develop a plan. And I hope it can help you open your mind and be able to do that today as well. And the first step is make a commitment to grow intentionally. Make the commitment to be intentional with your growth. When you know what areas you want to grow on, you have to make a decision. And this is not just a one time decision, this is a decision that you have to follow through every day. And not only that, but when you are intentional about your growth, you become more aware of the areas that you need to improve to grow in private. But I believe that when you have someone that you can tell what areas you're going to grow on, you'll be in much better position to actually follow through and actually grow in those specific areas that you set yourself to grow on. Okay. And I have seen that in my life. It's not enough just to say, okay, I'm going to grow in this area because this is what I need. But I do believe when you have someone that you can be accountable, it will help you get the job done in a much efficient way. In a much efficient way. And I believe that's what we want. We want to grow and know that we have someone that we can be accountable and help us through that. And there's few things that can happen when you are accountable. Okay. You become more trustworthy. You trust yourself more to get things done. And then people begin to trust you. And then you become more deeply on your responsibility. You become more responsible on the things that you need to get done. And after all that happens, you start to become more credible. Because I think credibility is a great area. I think credibility is what we need. But there's no way we can be credible if we don't take responsibility for our own growth. So let me ask you this. What areas do you need to grow on? Do you know? Did you set up a plan for yourself to grow on the areas that you know it will help you improve? Are you specific about those areas? And this is something I learned from John. John Maxwell is a great leadership guru guy that really teaches about this a lot. And recently I've been listening to the Maxwell Leadership Podcast. And in that, he was talking about a lot about personal growth, that he started that way. Then in the beginning, He needed to grow himself because he knew his purpose. He knew the gift he had, and he needed to grow because he needed to impact people. And I want to ask you about that. How many times have you done that? Do you have people in your life that you want to impact? People that you want to help? That could be your family, that could be people you work with, or let's say if you have a team and you want to be able to impact those people. And there's a lot of areas that I want to impact people on, but there's no way I can do that if I don't have a plan of growing myself. Because I do believe that before I can lead myself, I do believe that before I can lead anyone else, I need to be able to lead myself. And if I'm not growing, how am I able to do that? It begins with me. It begins with you. So make a commitment to be intentional about your growth and follow through on that decision every single day. The second step is tell someone you trust. Find someone that you trust and tell them about it. Find someone that you know they will not judge you because you have these areas that you want to focus on, and it's someone that you can be accountable to, and they're okay with that. Okay? Because when you have someone that you can be accountable to, you'll be in much, I do believe that, you'll be much better positioned to grow, more intentional, and at the same time, you will be able to develop this accountability type of way that you will be able to not just be accountable for yourself, but help people develop accountability as well. Hold someone accountable. And I see that in my life. Every time I set a goal, every time I plan, and I talk to my mentors about it, my coaches, and I tell them, because you have to tell them. No, it's not just, hey, I want to be accountable, but you don't tell people about it. You just keep it to yourself. It doesn't work that way. Okay? It needs to come from you. I decided to focus on these areas and I need help. Can I be accountable to you? You're someone I trust. Okay? And that says a lot about you because you want to grow, you want to develop yourself, you want to make more money, be an impact player, not just a regular person. Okay? So find that person and be accountable. Okay? Hold yourself to a higher standard. Okay? Not everybody might do that, but if you do it, you stand out from everyone else. Because nowadays, everybody's trying to do the same thing. The only way we can stand out is if we make a decision to be different. Okay? So that's the second step. So the first one is make a decision to be intentional about your growth. The second one is find someone you trust that you can tell them about it. And the third step is identify the areas you need to grow on. Do you know what areas you need to grow on? And if you allow me, for myself, it's simple. I want to grow in the areas of communication. I want to improve my communication with people out there, networking, and I want to improve my relationship with people I trust. Not because it's not just about friendship, it's about building a true relationship. A true relationship that's going to stand for a long time. Like having someone that is not afraid to tell you your blind spots. They're not afraid to tell you what areas that you need to improve. That's the relationship I'm talking about. And me being okay with that. Not taking it as trying to be defensive, but just open for feedback. That's what we need. Okay? So, and that's what I want to grow on. So, do you know what areas that you need to grow on? And for you, it might be different. Okay? So, just decide what areas you need to focus on. Is it belief? Is it trust? Is it values? When I say values, I'm talking about personal values. Do you have personal values that you want to work on? So know that the areas that you pick to grow on will be the areas that will improve your relationship at home, your community, professional. That actually will help you take the next position that you want inside a company or whatever area you are in your life. So just know, what areas are you going to focus on? That's the third step. The fourth step is you need to be able to invest at least an hour a day on your growth. And I don't believe it needs to be an hour, but this is something I learned from John. I was listening to his podcast, John Maxwell podcast, the Maxwell Leadership podcast, and he did talk about that as well. That we need to have at least an hour that we can focus on our growth. So when you have picked the areas that you need to grow on, just have an hour a day that you can take for yourself. A lot of times it might not be an hour. It could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you can get in a day. Sometimes it might be in the morning. It could be at nighttime. I find myself doing it in the morning when I come back from the gym. I go to the gym in the morning and I just take my time to do that. I have a paper where I put together all the skills, areas that I want to grow on, and I just follow through every single day. And I do that and I just check. I actually put together a free PDF that you can buy, you can take, okay, from my Stan Store. You can go and take a look and see if that's something that can benefit you as well, okay? But yeah, so just have that and just prepare yourself. Prepare yourself to grow, practice, and reflect on the things that you're growing on. The fifth step is have a journal. Have an area where you can actually take notes. I have seen in my life that every time I learn something and I just read it, I forget about it. But when I actually take my time to process that and then write it down, I don't know why, but for some reason I tend to retain more of that. And I think that's what we need. We need to be able to do that, okay? So find a place where you can take notes about it, because at the end of the week, what you want to do, you want to go back and you want to read those and see, what did you learn? Was it good? Was it bad? What was your experience? And a lot of times you can always go back and use that to teach, to help someone else as well. And the last step is share. Share that with someone. And there's a few ways you can do that. You can do it with just like in the beginning when you have, like I said in the beginning, when you have someone that you can be accountable to, and then you can check in every day, every week, and review what did you learn, everything like that. Or a community. Nowadays, a lot of people have communities that they can share things they're learning. Or it could be your personal social media account. You can use that too. Especially if what you're learning is related with your niche, your target audience. You can use that and build trust with the people that follow you, people that are watching your content. Because we have to nourish people as well. You have to offer people something so they can always come back. So those are the 6 steps I believe that can help you begin today to make a decision to grow. And every one of us, we have different areas that we need to grow on. And we need to take the time to focus on that. We need to take the time to actually focus on that. And I do believe that personal growth is not something that you do for 6 months and then you stop. I do believe it's something that we do for the rest of our lives. And when we take the time to invest in that growth and not worry about the results, but just worry about the progress, we begin to change and become a better leader. Because that's what we're here for. We are here to develop, to become better every single day. And that's my goal for you and for me, for us to get in this journey of growing together. And if you find this valuable, follow for more, subscribe, let me know what you think, and join me on this journey of growing together. See you next video.